Hello everyone, today we will talk about the interactions between climate change and inequality and why we fully support the idea that addressing inequality will solve the climate crisis. Meet our team. The concept we call climate change has been developed decades ago. It is something we associate with disastrous and increasingly common weather conditions. These events don't affect everybody to an equal degree. Consequently, inequality prospers. Both the climate crisis and inequality engulf the entire world. That being the case, we strongly believe that the only way forward is through discussion between all levels of society, both internationally as well as locally. We are social beings after all, and we shouldn't ever forget that. Now, let's show you what we mean.
The average American in 2019 ate 53 pounds of beef, but families in Argentina and Uruguay, where a lot of cattle are farmed, consumed even more than that. An 11-minute ride to space, like the one taken by Amazon founder Jeff Bezos, is responsible for more carbon per passenger than the lifetime emissions of any one of the world's first billion people. 1/10 of all flights departing from France in 2019 were on private aircraft. There is this trend where emissions generally rise with wealth. The richest 1% are by far the fastest growing source of emission, and they live all over the world. It is reasonable to think that the top emitters who are factually rich can survive climate hazards better than those who emit less. This leads to inequity because there is a group that is more vulnerable to climate hazards, such as hunger and the spread of disease, rather than the group that contribute to most carbon emissions themselves. Therefore, addressing emissions inequality within countries is just as important as reducing pollution on a national level.
Climate change can be dealt with through the help of an increasing equality. Primarily, education is the optimum tool against climate change, that is, if made fair and equal on a global scale. It is all about promoting equal education in developing and poorer regions on Earth, which initially will bring knowledge and opportunities to those people and promote innovative ways to reduce carbon emissions. Additionally, people will become more resilient as the negative impacts of climate change towards them will be mitigated, so they will live more sustainably. Moreover, increasing civility in those places which will prevent human-induced destructive actions and bring cohesion to society. Furthermore, causing a ripple effect, eliminating other inequalities and further unite our population. Most notably, education brings awareness, hence easily achieving equality and improve everyone's quality of life. At last, it leads to priority where everyone is focusing towards solving the climate crisis, causing rapid progression, and feasibility where it becomes easier, faster to perform climate-positive actions that are efficient and effective.
Inequality aggravates the climate crisis. The world around us is multidimensionally unequal, meaning that economic, educational, intergenerational, and several other inequalities function alongside. While we often treat multidimensional inequality as a consequence of the climate crisis, it is, in fact, a major driving force that accelerates the climate crisis in a vicious positive feedback loop where inequality causes more climate hazards, which in turn lead to more inequality. Our group proposes that it is impossible to solve the climate crisis without addressing inequality, as it is an active force worsening the crisis. Any climate action that ignores inequality is a mere bandage to the problem and therefore not a sustainable or meaningful solution. Climate action cannot be viewed in isolation, as it is knitted into the very fabric of social, economic, gender, and other justices. Climate action can be furthered by incorporating actions aimed at reducing inequality. The most alarming aspect of inequality is its sheer size and diversity, from 1 billion children living in poverty to the many women finding it harder each day to find water in parched wells and under the scorching sun, from the small island nation residents tearfully leaving their lives and livelihoods behind on rickety boats to African American communities in the USA finding their poorly funded neighborhoods at the forefront of deadly hurricanes. Our group believes that these victims of the climate crisis must be given a voice at the round tables that decide their future. We believe that if left unsolved, inequality will forever silence their voices. Incorporating actions aimed at reducing inequality into climate action movements will create a multi-stakeholder conversation and will provide urgency to accelerate the movement and prevent damages.
By promoting equal education, solving multidimensional inequality, addressing emissions inequality within countries, and creating a multi-stakeholder conversation, we, PRO2, as 3 members, all agree that we can solve the climate crisis by addressing inequality.